Happy New Year to all Mobile Legends gamers. Finding the best roamers may be hard and confusing. In my previous video, many of you were having controversies towards my personal top solo rank tanks.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So today, I'll be making my redemption by discussing the top 10 roamers in the current meta of Season 31. It is no doubt that roamers are the most important role in the current meta nowadays, as you can set up important key plays and open up the entire map for you and your teammates to see. We will also be looking at some of the latest patch updates and M5 tournaments to showcase the strength and skill of the roamers that could be used in this season. And of course, we will be providing a set of recommended builds and emblems towards every single hero that will be mentioned in this video. However, there are some good roamers and bad ones, and because of that, it is somewhat confusing amongst the players and causes some controversies throughout the game. But before we move on, be sure to understand that this is my opinion towards the meta currently, and if I do not meet your agreement, you can always feel free to comment down your opinions or thoughts. Since I believe that everybody has their own perspectives and own personal favorites towards each hero, watch the entire video to see which roamer will be the best that suits your playstyle, and also feel free to comment down on your current main hero. Without any more hassle, let's get into the main topic of our list of 10 best roamers in this season. Okay, so first on our list is Diggie. This hero may or could be the most annoying hero anyone could ever face. Diggie can literally counter every CC and stun heroes in the game with no difficulties, which make it not only a solid, but unique roamer. You can pair up with any spell possible, and still could make a huge difference in terms of teamfight and assisting your weaker teammates, such as marksmen. You might think that Diggie's ult is already overpowered enough. You're wrong, my friend. He can not only be immune to stuns, but also stun and pull you back and deal damage at the same time. One bad mistake and boom, your life is gone, taken by a small little fun-looking owl. If you are tired of annoying stuns, Diggie may be your perfect pick and main soon, once you get to actually enjoy the hero itself. Another annoying roam hero could be Khufra, as it literally gives you a jump scare out of nowhere. From his first skill to annoying flicker combos, it is definitely unpredictable for most amateur players to even professional ones. Khufra can literally counter most heroes that try to dive in to kill you or your teammates. Not only this, when it's floating with his second skill as a ball, you can barely kill him since he gains some percentage of defensive abilities. However, one thing to take note of is that Khufra had been quite silent in the meta recently, with not many people picking or banning them. This doesn't mean it's bad or anything, it's just quite hard to master it. Therefore, I'll be creating a full-on Khufra guide in my next upcoming videos for free, just for you guys. So make sure to subscribe so you'll be notified when it's out. The next hero is one of the most recent popular heroes that had been discovered through the M5 tournament, which led to many tryhards using. That hero is none other than Tigreal itself. To be fair, Tigreal has always been severely underrated, and finally got the attention it deserved in this meta for many players to test out its true abilities and skills. Pairing his second skill with his first skill, you can deal an insane amount of damage and stuns to your enemies, which could even lead yourself to kill them without any teammates helping you. Another combo you can use is ult with flicker or second skill with flicker to stun your opponents in a blink of an eye, making winning look so much easier compared to using other roamers. If you have seen the latest M5 games, you would understand how insane the pros use Tigreal to fight off hard opponents and create amazing sets of plays that lead them to victories without even breaking a sweat. Diving into the next overpowered roam hero will be the King of Death, Faramis. With more and more damage dealers being added to the game, one example being the latest hero CC, it is almost impossible to avoid being killed in an instant. It feels like whatever you try to do, you would get killed no matter what. However, don't worry, my friend. Once you or your ally pick Faramis, it will make things 10 times harder for your opponents to kill you in an instant, while you can rewrite the field to you destroying and killing them. Faramis not only could create an immortality phase around his allies in a locked distance, he can even phase through walls, which make his mobility incredible for those who try to test him. There is no doubt he is one amongst the best roamers currently, and was even played in the M5 games and greatly performed there. I would also recommend using Faramis when enemies have strong damage dealers, such as Martis or Moskov, and insane stun ability heroes who can give your team hard times. One thing to note about Faramis is also he can respawn extremely quick once he is killed compared to other heroes, as his passive is the power to be able to collect orbs, reducing his spawn rate time, and return to the battlefield to assist his teammates as fast as possible. Furthermore, here is another top-tier roamer, but this time I would say he is the most entertaining and fun hero to be used in matches. Akai is the pick here. He can throw stuns here and there alongside, with spells of Petrify. You can make your enemies stunned the entire match and put them in lockdown, especially those annoying heroes like Lancelot who constantly dash everywhere and an extreme pain to be dealt with against. Akai is one of the easiest heroes to gain momentum with, although at first it's slightly confusing and hard to use. But once time goes by, you will realize the beauty of this hero and how many amazing tricks you can do with this hero. This hero could even be used as a jungler due to its insane damage reduction capability and defense overall. But with all that, there's also a minor trick some people usually forget about Akai, is you can use your ult first, then dash forward with your first skill to ult the enemy easily. The next roamer could be known as a rough and hard one. Oops, I meant it's tanky and powerful to use, and that is Grock. This hero can easily dive in turrets and teamfights with his aggressive ult and with a spell like Flicker. To be fair, Grock don't even need to join teamfights. In most cases, he can create the teamfight by simply laying a wall and dashing into it while colliding with the opponent. One useful and cool tip you can do with Grock is something called delay. This is when you put a wall and delay your minions by simply not letting them go to the enemy, which will greatly decrease the gold of your opponent since they could not get any exp or gold from killing your minions. This could also apply to the Lord when you want to wait for your teammates to gather all around and immediately have a team fight. These delaying skills can only be applied by a hero like Grock, so it's definitely a special and unique hero for every tank user to try out. I would also recommend you to use Grock when enemies have heroes that like to constantly run or dash to your teammates. That way it is pretty simple just to place a wall whenever something like that happens. Aside from all that, Grock's first skill is also something not to be underestimated. During that phase, he is practically immortal to any stuns done to him, and at the same time, you could decide whether you want to release the hit to the enemy or not. The next hero is the one and only Beast Minotaur. Just looking at this hero, you will feel a heck ton of menacing vibes inside of him. After his revamp, he is slowly bringing himself back to the meta, giving stuns to opponents everywhere he goes. And I've heard that Minotaur is getting another revamp soon, which will make him extremely tanky towards bases and turret damages. This would be a game changer if it was added, and you would most likely see more Minotaur users here and there. Even without any buff, Minotaur is still a great pick, as it is insanely tanky, and the plays you can do with it are also impressive. But one downside about Minotaur is that he is quite the slow type tank. So you will have to try and build up the play and get the timing. But even so, once mastered, you will be a beast at the game, just like how Minotaur is itself. Now onto the last three roamers are all specifically amongst the same type, as they have been totally crushing the meta ever since an update revamp was added to them. They have been appearing in every single match, not only in normal leagues of ranks, but even high ranks in professional leagues such as the MSC and M5 championships. These are known as none other than the healers. First up on the healers list would be Mathilda, the one that can fly around and bring teammates as if she's babysitting them like a pet. Her ability to surround opponents and crash into them while bringing her teammates is certainly overpowered. If you have watched TikTok edits of Mobile Legends, you can see how mesmerizing the combos she can do alongside with heroes like Kadita and burst damaged mages. She can also deal good damage to opponents if she absolutely needs to by slowly chipping the health bar slowly and painfully. In my perspective, I think Mathilda is one of my most favorite supports of all time, although I don't really use it that much. Next up, we have Angela. one of the most famous supports of all time, as it is literally labeled as an e-girl for many MLBB players. Any hero combined with Angela's ult can become extremely deadly, especially if she is paired with a jungle user that is quite skilled at it by obviously knowing what he is doing. It can also save any teammates during a highly risky situation, for example if your teammate wants to dive in turrets. The ult and healing ability is quite the perfect combo to assist your teammates to the maximum potential. Just don't steal too many kills as an Angela player, haha. Last but not least, we have the most deadliest healer of all time that can instantly transform a player from a near-death state to a full-grown healthy baby. That hero is the handsome-looking elf, Estes. He can instantly heal teammates every time anyone is low or drained by their health. The hero is made to define healing, since almost all his skills can be healing not only his teammates, but himself as well, except for his second skill, which could still be useful for slowing down opponents and letting your team catch up to the opponents. I would say that Estes is quite underrated in this meta, since I barely see anyone using it yet, but it really is very annoying if you meet up against a pro Estes. Imagine you trying hard to finally win against your lane, and right when you're about to get a sweet juicy kill, a white elf pops up and instantly heals your opponent, then suddenly reverses the situation by decimating you. Yeah, I'd rather have an Estes main on my side. In my opinion, Estes is pretty flexible, as you can use pretty much different spells based on your playstyle. But can you imagine it using Revitalize? Healing plus healing. Wouldn't this combo be illegal? This sums up the entire video of top 10 roamers in the video. However, I would like to make a couple of honorable mentions to a few heroes, since I believe they are still worth making the list, but I couldn't put every roamer here, so the heroes are Valeric, Kaija, and Rafaela. These roamers are quite versatile and amazing, so feel free to use them. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and like the video, as I'll be making more of these videos soon. Before you go, be sure to comment down on your favorite roamer, as I've previously mentioned. Thanks for watching, Happy New Year and goodbye!